Hey there. Welcome to The System Is You, right? This workshop is going to be the workshop that ends every new year, new you illusion you've ever been sold. And if you know me, you know where I'm coming from right now, right? This is December and it's when everybody starts going, New Year's resolution time. Anyway, right? So here's what actually matters. And I want you to hear this, okay? You don't need to go out and create some big makeover for yourself. You don't need to create some miracle morning quote unquote habit for yourself. You definitely don't need some other 30-day challenge, okay? For most of you that are listening, I even those of you who aren't active clients right now, you've already done a lot of the work, if not all of the work, right? But what you really need right now to is to take all of that and insert it into a system that honors the version of you that actually exists, not the one you keep trying to upgrade through guilt, right? So, and I know that sounds a little weird and a little strange, like, no, I want to improve, I want to upgrade, I wanted this. And yes, but a lot of anyway, there's a lot of us that do this and we go about it in a way that doesn't get us to where we want to go. If we did, we wouldn't be looking at New Year's resolutions year after year. Anyway, so today is not about goals, and I want you to know that. I'm not really a goal kind of person, more of an aspirational type thing. But so today isn't going to be about let's set some hard, fast goals. It's going to be more about grounding, right? Grounding in who you are right here, right now, in this moment today, going forward. How would you like to see, right? So we're going to be building the structure that lets your evolution sustain itself. So what I'm about to say isn't theory, right? It's what works. Okay. Yes, motivation gets you started. Yes, systems keep you honest. And yes, personal alignment keeps you free. Push pause, rewind that if you need to, right? So right now, take a breath with me. As you inhale, I want you to release the pressure to start over. And then as you exhale, I want you to decide that this time, you're starting from yourself. You're not starting over. You're starting from yourself right here, right now, in this moment, going forward. It's not starting over, right? That's the difference between resolution and insight and impact. Okay? Remember, you don't need a reset. You need a rhythm that will serve you. Okay? So I want to start with what I call the overdrive myth. And I'm kind of going a little bit at a faster pace because I know everybody's like attention spans and time frames are real small and condensed. And I just have a lot I want to say at the end of the year here. So, and I want to give you as much juice as I can. So bear with me if I'm going a little fast. Utilize the pause, utilize the rewind. Yeah. So we're going to start with the overdrive myth, or what I refer to as that, right? So overdrive tells you that exhaustion equals effectiveness, right? Like if I'm exhausted, that means I'm quote unquote busy, right? So it whispers to you, if I'm not busy, I'm behind. Or if I'm not busy, right, my self-worth, my value, my validity goes down. Okay. All lies. Just saying, right? 100% all lies. It lies. Your nervous system, my friend, is not a productivity machine. Okay. Right? Know that. Think or just know it, feel it, embody it. Your nervous system is not a productivity machine. It is a performance instrument. And when you keep it in fight or flight, or that right high overdrive, everything tightens. Your focus tightens, digestion gets derailed, emotional capacity, even your creativity, right? Like overdrive looks like success maybe from the outside, but it feels like anxiety on the inside. It feels like panic. It feels like scattered. It feels like, right? Pick your adjective that suits you, that fits you, what it actually feels like. Because here's what's happening. Well, no, you get it, right? Like call it out, call it what it is. Give it your adjective, but that overdrive, right? Your nervous system, constant. Okay. So when you step out of that, what's going to happen for you is awesome, right? Like you're going to stop reacting to urgency and you're going to start responding to and with intention. You're going to stop needing recovery days because your life includes, right, a recovery rhythm. And when I'm saying, that recovery, it's like, wow, we all have those, those, I'm done with that part of my day, right? Like it's time for me, right? Anyway, okay. You're also going to stop equating stillness with laziness and start recognizing stillness as part of your strategy. Okay, I'll give you a little example. I had a client that used to say, you know what, Tricia, if I stop moving, I'll lose the momentum, right? I'll lose my momentum. So, and that's real short, but it was a much longer conversation anyway. But what we did was we sat together and we worked out and built in a little 10-minute reset rule for her. I have my reset that I do in between every little thing, right? You all know it as the core daily practices, or the core non-physical feeling check-in. And anyway, so we built her a little 10-minute reset rule. And it meant one pause midday, no phone, just breathe, right? Like just one pause midday, just for her to sit down and breathe, right? And within a week or so, right, like her afternoon panic dropped by about 60%. She didn't lose her momentum to finish her day, but what she did lose is the friction. Right. So that's what happens when you end the overdrive, or maybe not end it, but you disrupt it and you teach it to be effective. Yeah. So your peace stops feeling like, boredom. Your peace stops feeling like selfishness. Again, pick your adjective, guys. I try to throw one in, and if I can, I throw in a couple more just to give you those ideas. Peace doesn't always feel boring to people. Some of you it does, but when we're taking that recovery space, that time to connect with ourselves, that stillness space, right? It shouldn't feel like boredom. And I hate that I use the word shouldn't there, but right, like what is it? We want that peace to stop feeling like boredom, like lacking self-worth, like something to feel guilty about. Okay. And because we want it to start feeling like bandwidth, like personal expansion. Yeah. So grab your journal, your worksheet, your piece of paper, whatever it is you're writing in, and write down these questions and then spend some time answering them. Okay. First one, where in your life are you confusing motion with progress? Where in your life are you confusing motion with progress? That busyness, right? Like that overdrive. And the second half of that is ask yourself, what could intentional stillness look like for you? And we'll start with just this week. Yeah. Just start with this week. What could intentional stillness look like for you? Disrupting sometimes is a good thing. Yeah. So now that we've stopped glorifying our chaos, which is really everything that we were just talking about, I want to build what we're going to replace it with. Okay, and that's your emotional performance blueprint. And I want to do this because clarity without structure, right, becomes just another emotional hangover. So I'm gonna help you build this in a rapid form, and so, you know, again, you're gonna have to dedicate some stillness time to yourself to work on this. And if you need me to help you do that, grab some time on the calendar, we'll do so. But anyway, let's build that emotional performance blueprint, right? Because so get in the same space with me, okay? Because what we're not doing, we're not building you a to-do list, okay? We're going to be building you like a system map, okay? Your life already is a collection of rhythms. So we're just going to upgrade them a bit, okay? So that they work for you instead of against you. Okay, so you operate within 3 core systems, okay? We'll start with the first one. So write this down. Number 1, the emotional system Okay, number 1 is your inner compass, right? So the emotional system, and it's how you process stress, feedback, and change. Okay, so when your emotional system runs clean, you can navigate pressure without that panic. Okay, so you want to ask yourself, what do I do when life punches first? Do I pause or do I perform? Do I self-regulate or do I self-sacrifice? Okay, I'll say it again. What do I do when life punches first, right? Like, do I pause or do I perform, right? Push through. Remember, we always want to be looking to sit in and move through. We want to take a look at what's happening, right? Like, and do some work there. Or do I perform? Do I self-regulate? Or do I self-sacrifice, right? Like knee-jerk reactivity is self-sacrifice. Okay. Emotional strength isn't about just staying calm. It's about staying conscious. Okay. So to upgrade this system, we have to build little tiny, I don't even want to call them habits, but, you know, like little tiny micro strategies for regulation. So that might be 2 deep breaths before every yes. Right? Like, I'm not allowed to say yes until I've sat still long enough to take 2 really deep breaths. That might be a 60-second check-in before every reply, right? I, again, use the core non-physical feeling check-in, like right here, right now. How do I feel? What's driving this feeling in this time and space? How much of it is for me or about me? How much of it is for or about another person? And what do I need to do going forward? Right? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So that's a 60-second check-in before you reply. They get really quick the more you use it. Anyway, or maybe it's a daily reflection that asks, you know, like, gosh, did I lead myself today? Did I allow myself to be led by something outside of me? Okay. So that's your number 1. The second one is your behavioral system, right? This is your follow through engine. Okay. Now this is where those intentions, your intentions, either translate into awesome forward moving action, or they get lost in, I don't know, right? Like that proverbial inbox. Because, most people don't lack a discipline. They just lack design. And, I have people ask me all the time, like, why is this stuff over here? Right. Like, why is it always over here? And these stuff, I just, so, um, and there's a reason, but it takes some investigating to figure out why you operate that way. But it's not a lack of discipline, right? Usually it's that lack of personalized design for yourself. I remember the year that I set, like, I don't know, 10 goals for January. And of course this was well over a decade ago, but I set like 10 goals for January, and none of them, not one of them, made it to February. And I know without any uncertainty that the reason that they didn't survive till February was I was relying on motivation, and I had built no systems for those things that I had decided I wanted to do. So now, right, like I build my weeks, my days, my hours, right, my months. I build everything around behavioral cues. So some of that might be, I don't know, it might look like, mine changes so frequently. I won't even go into what mine is right now, but what this could look like, right? Mondays are for creation. Tuesdays are for connection. Fridays are for reflection, right? Like it's not rigidity. It's rhythm. Okay. Because, I think it's important that we go forward in this space in the mindset that discipline isn't punishment, right? It's protection for our purpose. Yeah. So we want to create rhythm. I know everybody's like, oh, create the habit. We don't want it. Living without habits fixes everything. We want to have rhythm. We want to have systems. We want to have processes, but we also want to have flexibility, right? Resilience, the ability to add, edit, delete, change, shift, morph along the way, because life's going to happen and it's not always going to follow, your rules. And we know this, right? Okay, so number 3 is our physical system, right? This is your energy, right? Like that energy infrastructure. Now, what you have to know is that you absolutely 100% cannot sustain emotional agility if your body is burned out. Your physiology, my friend, is either going to fuel your focus or fight it. And this is where the fuel flow formula really matters. And I know a lot of people push on me with this one, and I don't even do this first one, quote unquote, in the simple way that it's stated. But, right, eat within an hour of waking, hydrate before caffeine, pause mid-afternoon to reset your nervous system. Sleep isn't a prize, it's a plan, right? Just saying. Okay. So that eat within an hour of waking, we can all talk about it because each of us are individuals. I don't necessarily get up and have quote unquote food within an hour of waking. However, there are things that my body needs, first thing in the morning to function at my best. And so whether that's a mushroom blend or it's a, some protein in my coffee, something like that, right? Like so I'm giving, my body, right, some nourishment anyway to get it going. But I always, always, always 100% hydrate before caffeine. So before my feet even hit the ground, right? Like I've had at least 8 ounces of water, most often with some lemon in it. Sometimes even a pinch of, right, sea salt. So I'm hydrating before I even head to the coffee pot. And pausing mid-afternoon, right, spending some time with yourself, reset that nervous system, regroup, reframe, refresh, whatever it is, look at going forward. We got to make sure that we're not ruminating, wallowing, or languishing in anything, right? And then we have to make sure, right, like that we're making time for actual sleep. Anyway, right? Bottom line, you can't lead with clarity if you feed on chaos. So when your body trusts you, I promise you, your emotions will follow. Now, let me show you how this all connects, right? Because that was a lot. And if you weren't taking notes and if you didn't push pause and rewind, again, I'm going fast. But this is a mini masterclass to something that most of us have been working on all month. Okay. So here's how this all connects. Emotions guide our behavior, behaviors shape our energy, and energy fuels our emotions. Right? It's a cycle of performance, emotional performance, of personal performance, right? That's how you stop needing a reset every time life gets loud. Create a system, a cycle, a rhythm. Now, I want you to take a moment here and write down one adjustment that you're going to make in each one of those systems this month, right? So you have your system, which is your emotional, your behavioral, or your physical. And then you have why it matters to you, right? Why does the emotional matter? Why does the behavioral matter? Why does the physical matter? Then you want to complete this sentence. When my systems align, my potential becomes predictable, right? Now, you guys are hanging in there really, really well. Okay. You're doing beautifully, but we're not done. Right? We're not done just yet. It's time we got to anchor all of this into one truth for you, one action item, one belief, one reframe, one aspiration. Pick your adjective, right? I'm all about that. I don't know what you're looking for. If you need to, get real honest with yourself, or if you're already in the work, right? And you, right? We want you to have this so you can carry it into 2026. And so we want to have a mantra of mastery. So the next exercise is more about cleaning your energy in the form of words so your nervous system can follow suit. Okay. So let's make it personal. Let's make it personal. You've designed your systems, hopefully, or you're in the process of, or you're going to get them done, or you're going to reach out to me and we're going to figure it out together, whatever it is. But we're going to assume in this time and space that you've designed your systems and now you're going to name them. So hopefully you kept your journal out or your, sheet of paper or whatever you're writing on. And let's take a look at this sentence. Let's finish it. In 2026, I lead my life from blank, not blank. Maybe it's I lead my life from peace, not panic, or precision, not perfection, personal alignment, not external approval. Whatever you write, And maybe you write multiple, right? Maybe you're like, oh, I need one for each category. Hey, more power to you. The deeper and more precise you get with this, the better. But you got to be willing to say these things out loud to yourself in the mirror, looking straight at yourself. Because if you can't say it to yourself with confidence and ownership while looking at yourself, not looking this way, not, not typing it in some social media thing, like this is my thing, right? Like I want you looking at yourself. And then I want you to, like actually be able to say it out loud when you're in other people's earshot, etc. Right? Like let your body hear your truth. That sentence, or if you wrote more than one, those sentences are going to become your anchoring mantras. It's going to help you, right? Like really get into that internal reset, right? So they can become your button, right? Like, ooh, reset, right? For 2026. Now, especially if you're going to be hanging out with me in the Insight and Impact Focus Group in 2026, which I highly recommend. The lineup's off the charts. Go to the website. You can check it out. Anyway, I want you to write it somewhere so that you can look at it. I say make it your screensaver on your phone, on your desktop computer, on your iPad, whatever it is, right? Like, ooh, make a pretty image out of it, anything, so that you'll see it day in and day out, all the time, so that it almost is just like, you get to own it. It's your mirror, right? So put it on your mirror. Make it, make it the cover of your planner if you actually carry one of those, right? Anyway, the reason for this and why I get so excited about it is like words are not motivation, but what they are is little tiny micro programmings for your nervous system. That's why I'm so into choosing the right adjective for yourself. It's why I'm so into you hearing what I'm saying, but doing so in a way that says, how can I utilize this for me in my life, right? Like, I'm not you. I'm not living, we're not living the same life. We're different. So everything is unique and personal and individual to you. So I want all of this, right? So we're doing this little micro programming, but the consistency, right? That consistency, that's so important, because it's just that self-trust that starts getting on repeat, right? Like it's just automatic replay, just consistent. So now we got to turn the mantra into movement, right? So we don't ever just want like just this stagnant thing. I'm not somebody that does like, just mindset, right? Like 9 out of 10 signals go from your body to your mind, not, it's not all mind body. So we got to get this mantra into a state of movement. So we have to list our top 3 emotional non-negotiables, right? Like these are our standards, the standards that protect your energy and protect your integrity. So I don't know, maybe some examples here to spark your thinking. Again, is I rest before I resent, right? Like, if I start feeling that a little bit of resent or whatever, I'm going to go take a break, right? I'm going to go rest. So that's one. Another one may be, I speak honestly, even if my voice shakes, right? So we might be real nervous. We might have a hard time because we're afraid of how the recipient of our words is going to take it, right? Like, or whenever I'm nervous, my voice shakes. So I don't want, right? But I speak honestly, even if my voice shakes. And another one, and this is one of my favorites, and I could expand on this one big, and I could give it lots of meaning. I won't, because I think it speaks for itself, but it's, I don't trade my peace for external perception. So write yours now. And then just know this, right? Like these affirmations. Well, no, these mantras, if you will, right? Like I don't want you to see them as affirmations. I want you to be looking at these statements, these phrases, these micro, right, adjustments. I want you to be looking at them as agreements, right? Agreements that you have with yourself. And then that way, every time you honor them, you're proving, right, that you are a leader in your life that you can trust. Okay. So some other questions you can spend some time with yourself on, really important, is ask yourself like, hey self, what emotion do I refuse to compromise ever again? Right? Like, what emotion do I refuse to compromise again? I love that one. And when I accidentally do, because that happens, right? Like 80-20 rule, I aspire for 90-10. But anyway, it really stinks. Anyway, so I love that one, right? And I think it's important for you to even list out because it's probably more than one, but no, like, hey, make that agreement with yourself. Like, I refuse to compromise this emotion. I just refuse. And then ask yourself, what boundary, limit, or limitation, right? Remember your work. The boundary system is a filtration system backed by healthy limits and limitations, right? So what boundary, limit, or limitation protects that emotion? Okay, you got to know, right? Like what you need to bring along to protect it. Because freedom, my friend, without framework is what? It's just fatigue in disguise. It's just disappointment. Again, your adjective, right? But you got to utilize your framework. All of the things that we learn and that we gather, all the skill sets, tools, tactics, methods, modalities that we take the time to learn and look at the value or the purpose of it in my life, to serve yourself, right? Like we leave them behind. If we leave them on the nightstand or we tuck them away on the, at the back of the closet or, and then we're out here somewhere and we wonder like, wow, I've got all these tools, right? Like I have all these things and I don't use them. It's because you don't bring them along. You don't know how that framework is needed. So it's really important. So, right, take another deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth, right? Like you literally just went through the entire process of ending a cycle most people never even see. Right? You just managed to gather what you need to stop fixing and start functioning. Right? You just gained the ability to stop hustling for your worth and started operating from your worth. So write this down as your final commitment to yourself. Yeah, are you ready? My next level doesn't need me to be a new me. It needs a system that supports who I've already become. That's your truth. That's your big fat permission slip, right? Like, boom, it's your plan. Carry it, right? Carry it into January. Carry it through the holidays. Carry it, all throughout next year, right? Like keep growing, keep coming back, keep leaning into the work. This is all purposeful. It's all building on itself, right? We're going to begin the next evolution together. in January. And we're gonna create some really good momentum. It's gonna be like precision instead of perfection, or precision over perfection. Okay, because you've done the reflection, right? Like we spent December reflecting, and now it's time for refinement. So until then, my dear, hydrate, breathe, and run your rhythm, right? Where you run your rhythm like the leader you are in your life. You are literally the system, and you have been built to sustain. I'll see you soon. Have an amazing, amazing holiday. See you in January.